Hey guys, this is Kevin Bonnet. I'm sitting here listening to some music and I'm wondering, what is your approach to learning a new piece of music? Here is how I break it down. Before I listen to the riffs, the accents, and all the extra stuff, I focus entirely on the essence of the song, the melody, the chordal structure, and the lyrics. By intentionally ignoring the riffs at first, my mind remains free to imagine whatever the song actually need or actually doesn't need, because we will add a lot of things that the song doesn't need. As I listen, I am mentally reproducing the arrangements. What is the strategy? The strategy, if you will, in practice. When I served as the music director for Edwin Hawkins Seminar and did some 8 to 10 CDs, I was literally cutting my teeth as a producer. And I spent 2 weeks just listening. Before I touched one keyboard, I would listen to the material and let it soak in. By the time I arrived at the session, I would write out my chord charts that Sunday night, including the specific changes and addition that I had already composed in my head. Day one of rehearsal, that Monday morning, was the first time I actually played the material. Why did that work for me? Because coming to the keys with a fresh ear and a fresh approach, clear senses, unencumbered by the demos, allows me to, number one, lead the band with total confidence and not rely on the demos. Secondly, to provide a fresh palette of ideas, not lingering and holding on to what I heard on the demos and trying to recreate that. And lastly, to make the arrangements come alive in a way that feels intentional, not just copied. This is Bonded, the life of a producer.
Wow. All I got to say is wow to that. That is Dr. Kevin Bond in his, in his essence. I love the way that he broke this down. And I think oh too often as musicians, we're so eager when we're learning material, whether it's for, a concert, a live recording, production, or even for Sunday morning. Let's just break it all the way down to the lowest common denominator. Just Sunday morning, learning material for that. Um, we too often try to play along with something while we're rehearsing it, while we're learning. We don't listen. You know what I mean? We don't listen. Like we got the, whether you're listening on AirPods or you're listening on your monitors or your speakers or whatever, you're sitting at the keyboard, you pulled up Sunday's set list or whatever, and you press play on the reference, whether it's from YouTube or Spotify or however you get your references, and you immediately start trying to learn that song or play that song as it's going. You're playing with it. You're trying to learn it, and then you find yourself rewind, 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 rewind. Now, what was that? What was that chord? What was that line? What was that line? Rewind, rewind. Da 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 da. Rewind. Da 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 da. You're trying to. Your practicing becomes less efficient. You know what I mean? You spend more time trying to hard focus on the riffs and the lines, like Dr. Bond talked about. You spend so much time trying to perfect that you lose the essence of what the song is. And so I too have took the approach of learning songs by listening first. Like if I have time, if I have the material in enough time, um, and we're not talking about the spot stuff because we know, you get as musicians, people think we're superheroes and they'll throw stuff at us like right there in the moment and expect us to just like roll with it. I'm not talking about these moments, but I'm talking about if you've gotten the material within a reasonable amount of time, whether it's a few days or a few weeks or whatever the case may be, it is probably proper for you to sit down and listen. So when I get the material for anything that I'm learning for Sunday, for an upcoming, like we had our Easter arrangements weeks before, so I had time to really like dial in on those, right? I spend time listening even when I mix, because I'm a mix engineer. So even when I mix a song, I will spend like days to a week depending on when that deadline is. If I got a deadline that's kind of weeks away, then I'll spend a week just listening to the rough mix, like not even touching faders, not doing anything, because I've made it a practice that you hear things better when you're listening instead of trying to accompany what's already there. You know what I'm saying? So, and I was a practice that I used to teach my students even when I taught lessons. I taught lessons for piano lessons for 15 years, and I taught them the same thing. You got to learn how to just listen to the song first. Listen to the song first before you even touch a key. Understand the melody, you know what I mean, of the song, where it's going, because again, going back to hard focusing, we were hard focused sometimes on like that line that's there, that chord progression that we're trying to get, you know, or drummer's licks or whatever the case may be. We're hard focusing on the things, and our practice time and our learning time is inefficient. And I found that when I take the time to just listen to a song for days on end, you know what I mean? Just listen to it without being at an instrument, without trying to overly dissect it, like by rewinding. That as Dr. Bond says, when I get to the instrument to actually play it, I've already sat with it long enough to kind of know the structure. I already know where that line is coming in, right? I already know when that line is coming in, what bar, what beat, whatever, and it's ingrained in there. You know what I'm saying? Now all I got to do is translate what I've heard to my muscle memory. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of my approach. And it's similar to Dr. Bond's and the way that he approached it. But he said everything way more eloquently than I could ever say and have said. You know what I mean? So I think this is solid advice that all of us as musicians, producers, mix engineers, all of us should be taking into account. Like, we try to mix something while we're listening to it. We try to produce something while not even really fully understanding the structure of the melody in the song. We try to learn our songs for the Sunday set. You know what I mean? Like in tandem. First time listening, first time trying to play it. And I think that's an inefficient way to approach things. Shout out to Dr. Bond for this great wisdom that he gave us, that he just dropped on us. You're probably already following him, so I don't have to tell you to go follow him, because you probably already are. And if you're not, you really should be. All right, that's all I got for this video. Yo, what up, guys? It's your boy, John Mike. If you've been rocking with my content and you want to go beyond what YouTube allows, what social media allows, that's exactly why I created my Patreon. Over there, I break down the real side of music tech, business, how this industry actually works, the creative side. I'm talking exclusive podcasts with your favorite creators. And there's 3 ways that you can join. There's a support tier that starts at just $5 a month. That's for people who just want to support my work and get early access to the content that I create. The Creator Plus tier goes deeper into the tools, the workflows, the plugins, everything that I use to create and scale out my content. And then there's the Business Plus tier. This is where we talk strategy, monetization, ownership, all of the things that I do to make money, how I scaled a 7-figure company, how you can do it too, asking questions, all of the crazy things that you want to know about how to build a sustainable, real career in music. So if you're really ready to take this to the next level and grow your creative business this year, then please join me over there at Patreon. The link is down below. I'll talk to you guys over there. Let's get it.